Hello, I'm Lian Sawires, developer of Creativity Toolbox for Seniors, and I am very excited about aging. With me today is Michel Mockers, artist, filmmaker, and I think a true Renaissance man. Welcome,
well,
Michel.
maybe it's a little too much because they put a lot on my shoulders. So you're a Renaissance man.
I think it's very important for people to have vision of what aging can be. Not everyone is active in their later years. Not everyone has had exposure to the arts. And I'm very interested in talking to people like yourself to get a deeper understanding, to share of how you became who you are, how things changed in your life. I have a series of questions that I'd like to ask you.
Oh, please. I will try to answer.
Okay. Let's start perhaps with you giving me a little bit of a background of yourself as an artist. Let's start with that.
Well, my dear, according to my age, when I was exactly, I believe, I was going to be 17 years old, and I was at that time, my father was director of 2 casinos. But mean casinos, not the Atlantic City, the slot machine,
Yes.
the real thing in
The
the
real
time.
casino.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to be a musician, in fact, because music is a family tradition. My father, my grandfather, my all ancestors were organ builders. So the whole family is in music. One of my daughter is a conductor of orchestra and choir conductors, and I wanted to be a musician, but at the end of the war, no way.
Yes.
No way to go for learn music and all that. So I said, I will not be a musician, I will be a painter if I cannot be a musician. And it's how it started. So we had a friend who was the, let's say, the very #1 fresco painter in France. And of course teaching in a Beaux-Arts. So, and he was a good friend of my family. So I said, Léon, what shall I do? You know that I want to become a painter, and you know, and I wanted to be back to classicism, if you want.
Yes.
It was already, you know, the abstract thing coming out, but I wanted to be classic. So I said, where shall I learn the classic way of painting? He said, go everywhere you want, but not in the Beaux-Arts, where you will learn absolutely nothing.
Yes.
To what you want to do, go by yourself. It took me years, my dear. Years.
Self-taught.
Self-taught. It took me years and years and years. Now, what I did also was, plus, during the war, I had something that practically nobody has been able to have in his life. I was more or less in charge of watching over all the drawings of the Louvre. We were hidden in the castle of Valençay. Which was my sector of operation.
Yes.
So at the end of the war, I was able, I had the permission to go in the Louvre and take in my hands, like that, absolutely in my hands, the drawing of Leonardo da Vinci.
Absorb some of the energy from it.
Michelangelo.
Yes.
Nobody has that privilege to do that, but because what?
So if it was going to be music, and then it moved to art, and it's been art as a main theme.
Yes.
There have been other themes, I understand, in your life, but art as a main theme. Has it really become your true path? Do you feel that art has satisfied you as a true path for you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. How has, over the years, your being an artist changed your view of the world? Do you see it artistically? Do you see it visually? Let's talk a little bit about that.
You are asking me my big question. Means that I did always consider living on the 2 viewpoints. One viewpoint is that art is the only real way of expression of humanity.
Okay.
I say, the art disappeared, there is no more art at all from one day to the next day.
Yes.
We will be in hell, my dear.
Yes.
No more movies, no more fashion, no more theater, no more whatever you want.
Yes.
No
more
painting,
novels.
no more nothing, no more literature. That will be. So art, and it's Tolstoy, I quote Tolstoy, who say art is as much important as language itself.
Yes.
But my vision, if you want, of the Western civilization was one way, art, what it means and how art represents the evolution of the different civilization. And in fact, why is art a constant. Art lasts since the cave people who were painting on the walls of the caves up to today. It's the only history that you can tell since its beginning. Civilization disappears, art is still here.
Now, does art, in your opinion, represent civilization? Does art represent the human spirit?
Yes, but the human spirit, if you want, of course, it's civilization that goes together.
Yes. Now, in your personal evolution of art, how has your creation of art changed over the years? How you make art, how you see art, your personal artistic vision, how has that changed over the years?
Not really.
Not really?
No, not really, because I believe since the beginning I had one maybe short idea, but I just followed the same path since the beginning.
I'd like to return to Michel,
yes,
the man.
Go ahead.
Subjective.
Yes, go ahead.
Artist.
Yes.
Moving into maturity.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
As a man, as an artist, in your life now, what do you enjoy the most? What do you enjoy in your life most now?
I would surprise you if I answer reading quantum physics. Okay. No, I'm serious when I say that. Because I try to put all the things together.
Because it stimulates you, because it's foreign, because it's something from another universe? What?
No, it explains. It explains a lot of things. I like to think that that table is a table, but at the same time it's not a table.
So you like to utilize your mind. You like to tickle your mind.
Yeah, always.
Okay.
Always.
Okay.
Always read, always search. And when I
Okay.
say quantum physics, it's not by just like that. It's because I find in quantum physics a certain number of explanations.
Of course.
A certain number of things. So that puts art and the universe and everything together. Quantum physics, through quantum physics, you can say the universe is one. My atom is next to the further atom of the universe.
Of course.
And everything I do with mine has an influence on that one at the end of the universe.
Yes.
So that puts all the things together,
Yes.
if you want.
Okay.
That's not by pure curiosity.
Okay. Well, actually, that's a great answer because it leads into my next question,
Okay. Okay, dear.
which is, in your life experience, in a deep sense, what have you learned that you really feel is true, that you want to share? I mean, what is it that you've discovered in your life experience that's absolutely true for you?
Shall I give oh yeah.
What's the truest thing?
It's a difficult question to answer because it involves so many things. But basically, if you want, it's what is the most important for me.
Yes.
Maybe is communication.
Okay.
When I say communication, I don't say just we communicate this and that. Communication of human sentiment, of love, if you want.
Okay.
Love is maybe the most important thing in life. Let's say. I'm not talking going to bed. That's something else.
Yes.
I mean more on a more philosophical or more spiritual level.
So you've discovered for yourself deeply that love is the most important thing in life, in the world.
In the world, my dear, because if we were a little more loving, how can we let a third of the world starve?
Okay.
Huh? How can we do that?
I'm going to be devil's advocate and ask you,
yes,
how does that fit in with politics? You're social, you're interested in politics. How do the two work with one another? How do you merge that spiritual?
You know, there are two ways to it. In fact, it's an old battle that lasts since Plato that you are talking about.
Yes.
The battle between idealism and realism.
Yes.
So we are living.
And how has it been resolved in you?
It's resolved in me in some that I'm trying. I can say that now. It looks maybe stupid, but I'm going to try to create, let's say, a political movement completely out of all what exists right now.